In 2023, the U.S. government faced a shutdown due to a lack of agreement on appropriations. People from all walks of life were affected by this shutdown, including federal employees, contractors, and citizens. Federal employees were put on an indefinite furlough, losing wages until the shutdown could be resolved. Contractors were immediately affected, unable to receive payment until the government shutdown could be resolved. Even after the government reopened, contractors often did not receive full payment for their work. Citizens dealt with the long-term effects of the shutdown, as it put their government services at risk. Food stamps, for example, were suspended for weeks, leaving many low-income families unable to buy food. Federal parks and museums were forced to close during the government shutdown, costing the businesses and tourism that rely on them. Small businesses that rely on government contracts were hurt by the shutdown, unable to receive any payment for their work. The housing market was also affected, as loans backed by the FHA or VA could not be processed due to the lack of funding. This led to a halt in new home construction and home sales, as well as rent increases for those relying on government housing. Security checks for travel and other purposes were delayed due to the inadequate staffing of government agencies. Taxes could not be processed either, leaving businesses and individuals without refunds or credits for what they were owed. Many students were affected as well, unable to receive their financial aid payments or complete classes due to the lack of funds. National parks and monuments were closed to visitors, leading to a decrease in tourism and revenue for businesses in the area. Businesses relying on exports were hurt due to the lack of regulatory oversight during the shutdown, unable to receive payments or clear shipments. Air travel was affected, as TSA workers were unable to work due to the lack of funding and passengers were stranded. Food safety protections were weakened during the shutdown, as inspections and certifications were not being done, compromising safety. Environmental regulations were also affected, as enforcement of pollution laws was decreased due to the lack of personnel. Even the stock market felt the effects of the shutdown, as investors were unsure of the government's ability to resolve the situation. This forced many companies to put their plans on hold, as no new regulations could be implemented until the shutdown ended. Some state and local governments were affected by the shutdown, as funding for their programs was held up in the absence of federal funding. Even international relations were put in danger, as diplomatic appointments were unable to be made and embassies were unable to operate normally. The longer the shutdown continued, the more strain was put on these programs and services, leading to a further economic slowdown. Social Security and Medicare were also impacted, as payments were delayed and new applicants could not be processed.